back to Get a Life. You know, this is the show where we're committed to helping you live a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life. And on tonight's show, we have lots of things to feed your body. We're also going to feed your mind, but sometimes it's really important to also feed your soul. For me, it's beautiful locations like this, being near the water, getting the vitamin D into my skin, and being close to beautiful scenery like the Melbourne CBD skyline in the background that really bring my soul to life. Here's a look at what's happening on tonight's show. We meet up with a psychologist who can really help you defeat that perfectionist within. Julia's back again, and she has a great juice that's going to kickstart your cardio system. And if you want your child to become an international sporting superstar, then stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Hall, and over the next coming weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you my favourite recipes, workout tips, and self-defense tips from my program, tiffexo.com. I can't wait to show you. I'll see you soon.
If you've ever been tasked with organizing a corporate party, you know how difficult it can be to find something different that everybody's gonna love. Well, that's until now. Get a Life has been there once before, but that was with the kids. Did you know that Race Party also does fantastic corporate events? Check it out. We took you to one of the most exciting party venues on 4 wheels. I'm talking about Race Party, a fantastic venue for both kids and adults to have a bit of a party. We're back here today with the owner and founder of Race Party, Noreen. For people who don't know, what is Race Party?
Race Party is a leveling, fun, exciting, competitive experience for anyone from 6 to 106.
And so how does it work?
Well, we have two 40-metre, 8-lane tracks with double loops, which is a first, I believe, in Australia. You can race, marshal, you can compete with one another, have a lot of fun, and then we have a podium finish. And then you retire and have something to eat and drink.
Oh, that sounds fun. Well, this room is very funky with all of these cool lights. Where are we?
So we're in the Alba Park room, but this is the UV version of it. Basically, all the track colours are iridescent. The cars are iridescent, so under black light they glow. We have a funky mural in the back here as well. And we have a great soundtrack as well, a Speed Racer soundtrack. Oh. So people really experience a very different kind of racing experience when they're under UV light. But we can also race under normal light. And that's, you know, much more, I suppose, normal, where the focus is more on the racing, and that's an equally fun but different experience.
Yeah, but I understand you have another track that also has additional modes.
Yes. So our Monaco track, our international track, can also be turned into a disco.
Ah,
yes,
that sounds like fun.
Flashing lights, mirror balls, and the host of those parties also becomes a bit of a DJ. So when you're racing, you can say, I'll have that song, I'll have this song, and it's a lot of fun.
Who comes here?
So we get a lot of corporates who come for working days. So they come for a planning day. They want to be in a different space, think differently. They come here, they work, they have breakout sessions in here. They can sort of race normally during the day, and then they can just candle it up at night outside and go under UV and have a laugh or do disco. We say it's the only place that you can come and drink and drive, and then get a taxi home.
Of course, you gotta get the taxi home. But that is fantastic that you can come here, you can relax after work, you can have a drink, you can have a bit of fun with some colleagues or some friends. Yes. Yeah, and then I saw that you have a podium, so someone comes out on top at the end, don't they?
Yes, they do, and they actually get to shake champagne. It's fake champagne, but it feels just as good, I'm told. It's an incredibly leveling experience. So men can play against women, women often beat men, children can play adults, children often beat adults, and it's surprising who actually wins in these situations. It really is quite surprising.
Wow, I can really see it working for a lot of people. It has that team building element, it also has that competitive edge, it has a bit of fun, it really has something for everything, kids and adults alike.
Yes, it does. People come, they can own the space, because they see their photographs around, and they can, they can really let go and have a great time here.
So if you want to book, how do you do it?
You can give us a call, or you can go to our website, raceparty.com.
Do you feel like it's bringing out your competitive nature?
Definitely, I'm getting far too into it. Like, I'm screaming, I'm cheering. It's like, please calm down.
What about you?
It was great. It's like reliving your childhood, you know. It was going back there when we used to play them against my brother and had races with the cousins, so it was terrific.
I just love all the effects with the lights and the dressing up. It just gives it a whole new element.
Oh, definitely love to bring the kids back.
Definitely, yeah.
Thanks, Noreen. I've had so much fun being here today. I'm definitely going to have at least one more go on the track before I head out. Guys, you have to check this out. If you'd like some more information on Race Party or anything else you've seen on the show, you can head to getalife.tv. Now, we have Craig coming up next, and he catches up with the amazing people from Dayhab to look at some innovative solutions for dealing with the problem of addiction.
And I decided, I know what I'll do, I'll jump off the bridge instead. See, part of the insanity of addiction is that you continue to use and drink despite negative consequences.
Back with more Mick Hall. Great story, let's continue the conversation. The disease of addiction kind of disconnects you, doesn't it?
Oh, it breaks the connection with anyone else. And it prevents that connection coming back, you know, and it's a horrible place to be in. So look, I did
walk along the road and you're going, can't be bothered walking to the train station.
Yeah. So I was too lazy to walk to the train station, so I decided to jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
And you know, I can still remember getting up on the railing.
So you stood up on the railing, so you didn't just clamber over it and jump?
No, I stood up on the railing, and I remember losing my balance and going forward, and that's the last memory I have. And then I woke up, I don't know if it was 1 day or 2 days later, I woke up in intensive pain on a hospital bed with tubes, with blood flowing through them, coming out of my leg, and jars of whatever fluids, stuff.
We'll go with stuff.
Yeah, drainage fluid, I would say. And in this bed, and I didn't know where I was or what was going on, and I was very aggressive. And so I proceeded to pull the tube out of my leg, got out of bed and tried to stand up and realised that my leg was smashed. So I stood on my left leg, and nurses obviously saw this, and you know, security was called. I had, you know, security guards come in and kind of hold me down and put me back in my bed, and there I stayed for the next 3 months, you know, while I was recuperating, and this time I was committed. So I was committed into a psychiatric ward, and then as my leg started to heal and stuff like that, you know, I was just amazed that I didn't get any other injuries other than a completely and utterly smashed ankle. That's that. I've got screws holding it together now. Wow. But I was on a walking stick for a year, and that's before it got really bad.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that even in the middle of all of that, you even at that point, and we know that your story went on for another few years before you actually
5 years
got to the point. But even after that, you didn't go, I'm done. I'm gonna.
Well, strangely, I tried to. Like, I did have those, definitely.
Right.
Like you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to see that I was an addict, and I knew I was, but I couldn't. See, part of the insanity of addiction is that you continue to use and drink despite negative consequences.
So that shows us non-addicts how real the power of addiction is, and how much of a disease it is, and how little control when you're in the middle of it you have. So for these people who go, drug addicts are weak, they don't understand it. Well, but people say that, right? Yeah. But it is just not true. No. It's not an excuse. It's not a justification. But it's just not true. No. That it's not about weakness.
It's not about willpower either. I mean, getting clean and sober, strangely enough, had nothing to do with willpower. In fact, willpower
gets in the way.
Yeah.
It's about letting go, is it?
It's about surrender.
Surrender to win.
Admitting defeat, surrender to win. Yeah. And the victory begins.
So that's an amazing story. If people want to find out more about addiction or more about what you offer here at Dayhab, phone number, web address.
Yeah, so 1800 329 422. It's a free call to you if you ring. So that's good. And the web address is www.dayhab.com.au. Feel free to jump online, have a look at our website. There's lots of information on there.
Yeah, great.
And we're happy to take any calls and answer any questions.
Thanks, mate. Great to chat.
Cheers.
Addiction destroys lives and shatters families.
Hi, I'm Mick Hall, founder of Dayhab Residential Rehab Centre. I'm an ex-addict and I made it out the other side. I want you to know that there is a solution. There is expert help and there is hope. Dayhab can show you how. Jump onto our website at dayhab.com.au or call the number on your screen. Dayhab Residential Rehab Program. Recovery, help and hope every step of the way.
More information on Dayhab and the programs that they offer can be found through our website, getalife.tv. Now stay with me, because after the break, I catch up with the amazing psychologist and author, Honor Newman. Have you checked out the getalife.tv website? Why don't you head over to our page and have a look at all the past episodes, news stories, and all your opportunities to win, win, win. We also have a Facebook page so you can like us there for even more chances to win. Now, coming up next, Craig Harper, our resident self-help guru, is back with more life tips.
Hi guys, I'm Craig Harper. So every week we come along and assemble, kind of like church, but without the church bit, to talk about how to make us better, our life better, our world better, how to create better results. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the mind stuff, a little bit about behavioural psych, and a little bit about a thing called subjective reality. And so this is kind of, in a nutshell, how the world works. Something happens, and then I tell myself a story about it. And I go, oh, that's a problem. And somebody else might say, well, that's not a problem, that's an opportunity. And somebody else might say, well, that's not an opportunity, that's a lesson. And somebody else might say, well, that's a minor speed hump at best. So what we see all the time in life is where people create their own experiences via their stories. And so I want you to, as you're doing the things and as you're exploring your talent and your time and your potential and trying to create shift in your world, realize that what's going on around you and to you is part of your reality. That is kind of a stimulus coming into planet you. But then really the thing to do is to try to understand that your thinking largely affects your reality, if not totally determines your reality. So I'll give you a quick example of how a thought can produce a reality. So let's say I'm sitting here and I think somebody's about to walk up behind me with a big knife. Let's hope that never happens. But so that's my thought. I'm in danger. Someone's walking up behind me with a knife. So what would happen is, now no one's walking up in this story, no one's walking up behind me with a knife, but I think they are. So I have the thought, then all of a sudden my blood pressure goes up, my heart rate goes up, my respiration, my breathing gets faster, my body starts to produce stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, norepinephrine, my nervous system, my sympathetic nervous system switches on, fight or flight. And all of these things really happen because of a single thought. So, and then if we had the same thing happen on another day where there really was somebody behind me with a knife, they really were walking up behind me, we would see the same physiological response, because my body can't determine between a perception, a thought, an idea, and reality. So my body will respond the same. So what's my point? My point is that your thinking is really powerful. If you tell yourself a story of doom and gloom about something that's really pretty fundamental, it's going to become doom and gloom for you. If something happens and rather than going, oh my God, this is terrible, this is a disaster, you go, wow, I didn't expect this to happen, how do I fix it? All of a sudden, instead of going from a dark place, you come to a place that's much more light, and you go to a place where you're much more solution focused. So as you move through the next weeks and months negotiating all the things that you need to do to create shift on planet you, just make sure that you're managing your mind, because sometimes your mind is the biggest problem and also the biggest solution. See you next time.
Sometimes life gets a little bit rocky, just like it is for me today. But when that happens, it's okay to ask for help. I had the incredible privilege of meeting a fantastic psychologist and author who really dives into our minds and looks at the issues of perfectionism and how to combat the demons within. Have a look. Have you ever felt guilty? Well, I know I have, and I know many of us have from time to time. Back with us today is psychologist and author of Killing the Perfectionist Within, Honor Newman. Thank you so much for joining us again today.
It's a pleasure.
When it comes to guilt, I feel like this is something that women in particular struggle with, and you're a woman psychologist, so tell me why.
I think we've been sort of trained by our culture to put everybody first,
Yes.
so that when we have our own needs, we can feel guilty about that. Yeah.
And when does guilt become a problem?
When it's the main emotion that we're experiencing, you know, for a large part of the day, every day, then I think that's a sign that it's starting to become a bit of a problem.
So it really is about cultivating our pleasures and finding time for ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it might be even worth putting that time into your diary so it's there like an appointment, and also making a bit of a list of the things that really make us feel nurtured and things that make us feel happy and enjoying life.
So balancing your time, that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think if we can spend a bit of time every week planning out and putting everything into the diary, including time for ourselves, then that can reduce a lot of stress.
It most certainly can, but often we have these constraints in place, such as the 9-to-5 workplace, or time constraints, or activities that we have to do. How can we, operate within those?
Well, I think the working world is changing, especially with technology, and it's becoming more flexible so that women have more options to work from home if they need to, via Skype or things like that. So I think that's going to be really great for women.
Well, thanks for chatting with us, Honor. Always a pleasure to talk to you and to be in your beautiful home. For more information on Honor's book, Killing the Perfectionist Within, you can head to the getalife.tv website. And don't worry, Honor's going to be back in a few weeks as we continue to dive in all things that is the psychology of a woman's mind. Now, Julia's up next, and she has another great drink we're calling the Cardio Juice. Have a look. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me in the Coovings kitchen. I've got another awesome, healthy and delicious juice for you today. It's one of my staples. You might have tried something similar, but I wanted to run you through this juice because there's a couple of things in here that you might not have thought to add to your juice before. And I just want you to see how easy it is to add these to get those health benefits and also that flavor combination as well. I like to call this one my cardio juice. So how about we get started, and I'll show you how my best friend here, the Coovings C7000, will churn through this fruit, give you lots and lots of juice and very little and very dry pulp. Let's get started. So we're going to start with some carrots, great base. We have beetroot, very, very good for you, and it adds a real vibrant red colour as well. If you're not a big beetroot eater, you find it really hard to chew through, adding it into your juice is the simplest way to get those nutrients straight into your blood system without having to really think about eating a lot of beetroot. Then we're going to add in some apples, and this time I've got yellow, red and green apples. Now that's just because they're slightly different in their nutrient profile, but also just to add that flavour combination. Ginger, again, really warming spice, great for digestion. If you have a few tummy upsets, you can even just chew on it a little bit, but adding it to your juice just helps that whole process really easily. We have turmeric now. So turmeric is actually the root. I haven't got the powder here, I've got the actual root. Turmeric is so good for so many health ailments that if you don't add it to a lot of your food, you can actually get the nutrition from adding it into your juice, and you won't taste it. It'll give a nice sort of yellow color to your juices, and it's really, really simple. We have lemon, absolutely my favorite ingredient to add to every single juice. Adds that zing, very cleansing, very detoxifying. Wow, look at the color of that. Can you see all of those ingredients we put in have really created a real great flavor combination and vibrancy, and that is just pure gold really in terms of your health. There we go. And so simple and easy. You can just pop one of these in your morning. Perfect. Now, do you know what? I have this every single morning. I know exactly how awesome it is. So I'm going to get one of the crew members, George. George is our awesome director and our cameraman, and he loves a good juice, but I'm not sure you've tried that one before. Give that a try. Oh, okay, you can stop now.
I'm taking this, thank you.
Okay, go for it. So that's our cardio juice. As you can see, it's great for everybody, and it's really, really awesome. You get that nutrition straight through your system. Great wake me up energizer, and you know that you're getting your body into the right mode first thing in the morning, especially if you bottle it up, put it in a glass bottle and take it to work with you. If you'd like to win one of these awesome Coovings juices, then you can. Just pop onto our website, getalife.tv, and enter our great juicer giveaway, and you could win one of 6 Coovings juices. Remember, it always tastes better with Coovings. How great is that? A juice that tastes good and does your body good. Now, stay with us because after the break, we've got an incredible soccer coach who's going to show you how to get your little athlete to the top of the sporting ladder. As a father whose kids have gone through the program, as a coach who has seen other people's kids come through the program, what would you say to parents, perhaps, considering something like this for their child?
Well, I believe Australia's the luckiest country in the world because we have such programs. And it just teaches the kids, even if they don't become elite athletes, it shows them leadership qualities, it shows them how to be social, it shows them all kinds of life things that they need for their young age. And a transition between this program and say into grade prep is a very, very smooth one. But at the end of the day, they're thinking, and you're teaching them how to think at a very, very young age.
So you're obviously a coach and you've seen lots of benefits from that perspective. Have you seen anything else outside of sporting abilities?
Well, they show initiative and they listen to instructions and they're qualified thinkers from a very, very young age. They don't need a degree to become a qualified thinker. You just come to this program and it shows me that they're thinking, they get the kids all together and they can listen to instructions very, very, very quickly.
As a parent, how do you think the program actually assists kids in their transition from different levels of schooling?
Well, if you go to kindergarten or to grade prep, you always find there's 2 or 3 or 5 kids crying and they're struggling to lose that attachment from their parents. Generally speaking, the kids that have come to this program, that they're not crying. You're finding that they're with the crayons, they're colouring in, they're counting at a very, very young age. I know their alphabet, they're singing songs, and their transition is far more smoother only because they sit on the chair on that little table of theirs and they talk to the person next to them. It's very, very smooth. They're not relying on mum or dad or grandma or grandpa who they've associated with themselves for the past 5 years.
So what would you say to a parent who's thinking about enrolling their kid in a program like this?
Well, I think that's fantastic, and from a soccer perspective, the more the better. We teach them a lot quicker and they can become elite a lot more quicker, and we want Australia to win the next World Cup, so I believe, especially with girls, the opportunities are endless. So the more kids that come through this program, the better chance we've got Australia qualifying into World Cups, not only qualifying, but going deep into the World Cups as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. In a few years, we could have a World Championship on our hand.
The Matildas and the Socceroos are doing quite well, so you never know.
You never know. For more information on the Jim Baru program, you can head to getalife.tv. Wow, what a great show. I really hope you got something out of it, whether it was for your mind, your body, or your soul. But now it's your turn to get out there and get the most out of life. Maybe it's trying something you've seen on tonight's show, or maybe it's just getting out of the house and going for a walk. We all have to start somewhere. But for me, I've got everything right here. I'm Tylia Herwainen. Until next time, get a life. You can see all the past episodes. Also, there's so many opportunities to win-win-win. Have you... Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Many thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today.
Gotta
be happy at
very
Jim
serious.
Baru.
You smile, it's funny. Just
Soccer's very serious.
Yeah.
I love that smile.
All right.